Right. Let's talk about something incredibly dull, but terrifyingly important, your credit score. It's a number that has more power over your life than a rogue goose has over a peaceful picnic. Now, you might have heard some advice from a well-meaning relative. Let's call him Uncle Barry. Uncle Barry insists once you pay off a credit card, you should immediately close the account and ceremoniously cut up the card with a pair of oversized novelty scissors. It feels responsible, doesn't it? A clean break, a victory over debt. You've slain the plastic dragon and are now free from its clutches. Except, here's the kicker. That is, and I say this with utmost respect for all the Uncle Barrys of the world, catastrophically bad advice. In fact, doing that can actually hurt your credit score, not help it. Yes, you heard me correctly. In the bizarre upside-down world of credit reporting, closing an old paid-off account can be like telling the credit bureaus that you're less reliable, not more. It's a system so counterintuitive it feels like pineapple on pizza. Think of it like this. You've run a marathon, you've crossed the finish line, and as a reward, a race official walks up and punches you in the stomach. That's what closing an old credit card can feel like to your score. The very act you thought was financial maturity is interpreted by the algorithms as a red flag. It impacts nearly every major financial decision you'll ever make. So, before you give your old Visa a Viking funeral, let's pause. Let's take a deep breath and dive into this murky, confusing world together. We're going to unpack this whole mess, piece by infuriating piece. We'll look at what this three-digit number actually is, why it holds so much power, and how you can play its ridiculous game to your advantage. So, what is this mystical number? A credit score is essentially your financial report card, graded by a very judgmental, very robotic teacher who has never experienced human joy. It's a three-digit number, typically ranging from 300 to 850. It tells lenders how likely you are to pay back borrowed money. A high score, 750 or above, makes you look like the financial equivalent of a golden retriever, reliable and trustworthy. Lenders see that and think, safe bet. They'll offer money at a low interest rate. They'll roll out the red carpet for you. Conversely, a low score, under 600, makes lenders clutch their pearls. Just about everyone with a financial stake in your life uses this score. Banks and credit card companies, auto lenders, mortgage lenders, landlords, insurance companies, and utility providers. Your credit score is your adulting GPA. A good score can save you tens or even hundreds of thousands over a lifetime. A bad score can cost you a fortune and lock you out of opportunities. It's one number with massive power. Cars, homes, mobile phone plans, it's the gatekeeper to modern financial life. Ignoring it is not an option. So pay attention. Your score follows you everywhere. It's one number, but it shapes a lot of your adult life. Next, let's see how the number is actually calculated. All right. So how is this all-powerful number calculated? It's not magic, though it often feels like it. The most common scoring model is the FICO score. Think of them as a shadowy council of elders with a recipe, a secret sauce. They don't give away the exact formula. It's locked up. But they do tell us the main ingredients. 5 main categories. The biggest ingredient is payment history, 35%. Do you pay your bills on time? Late payments equal big red marks on your record. Even a medical bill in collections can wreck this slice. Next up, amounts owed. 30%, your credit utilization ratio. It's the amount of revolving credit you're using versus your total limit. Keep it below 30%, ideally under 10% for a real boost. Length of credit history, 15%. Don't close that old card Uncle Barry told you to destroy. New credit, 10%. Hard inquiries and many new accounts can look risky. Credit mix, 10%. A good blend of revolving and installment credit helps. Cards, retail accounts, auto loans, mortgages show responsible use across types. Lenders like to see you manage various types of debt responsibly. Those 5 ingredients together create your score. Now that you know what matters most, let's bust some myths about how to improve it. Welcome to Myth Busting. Now we arrive at the myth-busting portion of our show. Our first contestant is a real classic. It's the persistent, zombie-like rumor that you need to carry a small balance month to month. The logic goes, if you pay in full, the card company doesn't make interest, so they don't report positive activity. This is one of the most widespread and damaging myths. It has cost people a staggering amount in unnecessary interest payments. Let's be crystal clear. This is completely, utterly, and unequivocally false. You do not need to carry a balance and pay interest to build a good credit score. Credit bureaus care if you're a reliable borrower, not whether you made the bank richer. They care whether you pay on time. When you pay in full by the due date, it's reported as a positive payment. That's it. That's the tweet. You get all the credit-building benefits without paying a single cent in interest. From a risk perspective, person A who pays in full is the gold standard. Carrying a balance signals the bank you're profitable, not that you're financially healthy. It increases utilization and can lower your score. So please, pay your card in full every month. Carrying a balance is like setting a little pile of your money on fire each month. The gods are not listening, and you're just burning your own cash. Use your card for purchases, let the statement close, and then pay the full statement balance. It's the cheapest, smartest, most effective way to handle a credit card. Next myth. Does checking your own credit hurt your score? Here's another myth that causes unnecessary anxiety. The idea that looking at your own credit will make it drop. This fear stops people from monitoring their credit, one of the most important financial habits you can have. The truth, there are two types of inquiries: soft pull and hard pull. A soft inquiry happens when you check your own credit or when a lender does a pre-approval check. A hard pull happens when you apply for new credit. Soft inquiries are visible to you on your report, invisible to lenders, and have zero impact on your score. Check your score 10 times a day through Credit Karma or your bank's free tool. It won't hurt. So go ahead. Look at it. Stare at it. Become one with the number. A hard inquiry can affect your score. This happens when you apply for new credit: cards, mortgages, auto loans, personal loans. You give the lender permission to dive into your credit history. That inquiry is listed and visible to other lenders. A single hard inquiry might ding your score a few points and stays on your report for 2 years. A flurry of inquiries can flag risk, but scoring models allow rate shopping. Mortgage and auto loan inquiries within about 14 to 45 days are treated as one, so compare rates confidently within that window. Monitoring is safe and essential for catching errors and spotting fraud. Sign up for alerts and track your progress. Checking helps you improve, not harm, your financial health. So stop being afraid. Look at your credit. Monitor for errors, fraud, and progress. It's essential. This is a big one. The myth that you need to be rich to have good credit. People think wealth and good credit are the same thing. They're not. Your income is not a factor in FICO or VantageScore calculations. Your salary, hourly wage, or trust fund, none of it is on your credit report. Credit scores measure how well you manage debt, not how much money you have. Consider Jennifer, a high earner with multiple high-limit cards nearly maxed out and a spotty payment history. Her utilization is sky-high and payments are missed. Her score suffers regardless of income. Now David, a librarian on a modest income who pays everything on time. He uses one card for essentials and pays in full every month. He has a low utilization and perfect payment history. Despite the income gap, David will have a significantly better credit score than Jennifer. It's about habits and discipline, not paycheck size. This is fantastic. Good credit is accessible to everyone, not just the wealthy. It democratizes a key part of financial health. Your ability to earn a good score depends on habits, not riches. Set up autopay, pay on time, keep balances low. It's how well you play the game, not how much you start with. You can build excellent credit through consistent behavior. Good credit equals reliability, not riches. All right, time for step 1. Okay, enough theory. Let's get into practical, actionable stuff. If your score is languishing, where do you start? The very first, most critical step: get your payment history in order. This is 35% of your score. Become a paragon of punctuality. Every single bill, credit cards, student loans, car payments, rent if reported, must be paid on time, every time. The easiest way: automate everything. Set up autopay in your online banking portal. You generally have 2 options: minimum due or full statement balance. If you can afford it, always choose the full statement balance for cards to avoid interest. For installment loans, pay the fixed monthly amount. Automation acts as a safety net. A single 30-day late payment can stay on your report for 7 years. It can drop your score by as much as 100 points. That's a devastating, long-lasting hit for a simple mistake. Setting up AutoPay is a 5-minute task that can save you years of headache. If you're behind, contact lenders. They might waive a late fee or remove a late mark as a one-time courtesy if you pay up. It's not guaranteed, but it's always worth asking. Make a solemn vow to yourself to never miss a due date again. This behavioral change is the most powerful lever to start rebuilding credit. It is the seatbelt of personal finance. If you're behind, get current and stay current. Pull this lever consistently and watch the score move up over time. Next, advanced moves for the credit savvy. Once you've mastered paying on time, tackle your credit utilization ratio. This is the second most important factor. Keep utilization under 30%. For a real boost, aim under 10%. First, ask for a credit limit increase on existing cards. If your $5,000 card becomes $10,000, your utilization drops without paying a dollar. Most issuers allow quick online requests if you have on-time history. Another strategy, become an authorized user on someone else's card. If the primary cardholder has long history and low utilization, being added can help dramatically. Their account history, age, limit, and payments can be reflected on your report. Warning: ensure the primary cardholder is responsible. Their misses will trash your credit too. If they miss payments or max out the card, your score will suffer. Use this tool cautiously. It's powerful when used with trustworthy people. Finally, consider a mix of credit. If you only have cards, a small installment loan can help your mix. A credit builder loan places funds in a locked savings account while you make monthly payments. Once paid, the money is released and the successful installment loan is reported. It's a safe, low-risk way to show you can handle different credit types. Used with on-time payments and low utilization, these tactics nudge your score upward. Remember, don't let higher limits become an excuse to spend more. These are advanced moves for those already disciplined with payments. Now, take control of your financial destiny. So there you have it. The murky, intimidating world of credit scores is not so scary after all. It's a system with rules you can learn. We pick up bits from Uncle Barry's and internet forums, which leads to costly mistakes. Core components: pay bills on time, keep balances low, don't close old cards, and don't apply for dozens of new ones. The journey is a marathon, not a sprint. You won't go from 550 to 800 overnight. It takes time and consistency. Beware shady credit repair companies. There are no magic quick fixes. Building good credit equals responsible behavior over time. Make small, smart choices every month. Start today. As of this moment, you can take the first step. Pull your free credit reports at annualcreditreport.com. Sign up for free credit monitoring. Set up one automatic bill payment. Make a plan to pay down a high-balance card. You are the CEO of your life. Your credit score is a KPI. Learn how the score is calculated. Take deliberate strategic actions and make the system work for you. An excellent credit score unlocks opportunities and lowers costs. It can save you thousands. It gives you access to the life you want to build. Pull your report, enable monitoring, set up AutoPay, and make a repayment plan. You have the power to do this.